Hey guys, welcome back to Lauren Reviews Games, and this week we have been playing Settlers of Catan, which is a board game that's founded in Germany, and it's actually really fun. So today I'm joined with my friends Brianna, who's going to be the blue pieces, myself, which is the orange pieces on this board, my boyfriend Crowley, who's going to be red on this board, and it's his first time playing, and my friend Buttercup, who's going to be white. So as you can see in the video, we just rolled to see who can go first and who places their settlements first. Brianna won the roll, so she gets to go first and goes in a circle and then comes back. So Brianna places, I place, Crowley places, Buttercup places, Crowley places, I place, and Brianna places. So that's how it's kind of set up. The game actually does get a little more complex as it goes on. The whole point of the game is to earn 10 victory points by the end, and this can be accomplished through development cards, along with building settlements and building cities. When I say building, there's a lot of resources you collect during this game, and so we actually do have a building recipe card, which allows you to know how to build a road, a settlement, a city, or a development card, which leads to more points at the end. The other way to win victory points is to get largest army, which is done by receiving soldiers through the development cards, which looks like this, and it's worth 2 victory points. And the other way is to get longest road, which just means that you have the most consecutive roads built, and it looks like this, which is also worth 2 victory points. The game's length depends on how many players are playing and how experienced the players are. It can range in our group from anywhere from like 20 minutes, I think we had our fastest round, to 2 or more hours, which is very rare. This game took 2 hours because we had 4 people and a new player, so it took us a little longer than usual. The center aspects of this game are involved with trading, building, and progressing. You're constantly trying to get as much resources to build as much as you can within limits. And always trying to abide by the rules of the game, which is much harder than it sounds in some cases. So it's very important to have good trade relations with your friends, and that can really turn into some really unfortunate deals later on at times. But everything works out in the end, which is good. A lot of people do like the whole progression aspect of the game. I know my favorite thing about this game is being able to progress and like just building up my little tiny city empire going on, when I know other people's is like, oh, I just really like making roads, which is also plenty enjoyable and fun, but it's just someone else's cup of tea. Overall, this game is pretty simple and not terrible to pick up, so I believe that anyone could play it. It does take a little bit to learn and a little bit to actually play, but like any strategy game, I think it's a decent time limit. The game on screen right now is coming slowly to an end, where we're about to get our winner from a poor trade decision. There we go. Crowley wins. So now let's go to the reviews.
I've been playing Catan since I was pretty young. I guess probably around 8. I don't exactly remember though, but yeah, for a while. My parents played, my whole family played, and I think the first time I played was at a ski lodge, and the first game I played I won, I remember. Either just by luck or because everyone was going easy on me, but yeah.
I've been playing Catan for a little over 2 years, almost 3. My girlfriend It was her favorite game to play, and so her whole family played it, and so that's how I got into it.
I'm still playing the game because, I mean, it's great, it's really fun, but it's also like a great strategy game. It never gets old because the board like gets randomized every time, so it's a new game every time you play.
Why do I still play Catan? It's a lot of fun. The game requires a lot of strategy, so every time you play it, it's different. You can also play it differently, so there's like you could play very solo and not trade versus trade a lot.
You have to adapt to each different board game, which makes it interesting.
I think the game length is pretty standard for strategy games.
You've been playing this for a while. Between you and me, what's the best route to go about this? How do you win every time?
I'd say the best route, or the best strategy to use is probably just getting like a variety of resources. I'd say try to expand your reach first and then go to cities, because if you go to cities right away, the people around you start taking up spots and you won't have as many places to build.
I think I just go for the different strategies, because I know some people try to get as many settlements down as they can and stuff, and I kind of just like to build roads. It's fun.
Yeah, I usually first try to like get all my roads and settlements out, and once those are out, then like start with the cities. And I try to make my first 2 placements on almost as many resources as I can get, so like hopefully all 5.
What are your criticisms about the game?
So I only have one major criticism, and it would be the robber. How it is if you have more than 7. I like how in another version of the game, Cities and Knights, you can build the walls so that you can hold more cards. So I think that would be like the best thing to change about the game.
The only criticisms I would have for the game is that it can't, like, even though it does, like, the game can change a lot, it is a bit basic. That's why I like going to the expansion pack for the game, which is Cities and Knights, because that adds a lot of aspects to it.
It's just really annoying to lose half your hands.
I am in the process of designing my own Catan board game. It'll be the same, it'll be the basic version of the game, but just like customized to like look like how we want it to look, but
it's a lot of hard work. Designing everything. Thankfully we didn't make the actual game, because that would be even more work, but just designing the individual pieces, I definitely have a much higher respect for games and their intricately designed things.
What's been your favorite part of designing it?
The board. Figuring out how we were going to do the board, figuring out how we're going to design the board, and then all the designs Bree's come up with are incredible, so.
You mentioned that your first game, when you played in a ski lodge, I think, you won. And this game, our new player this is the first time you're playing, also won. Do you believe in beginner's luck?
I actually really do believe in beginner's luck. I think any time, or most of the time I introduce this game to someone new, they usually end up winning. Like, not even by us like letting them win, just they usually like win, and it's pretty funny. I'd say like about 75% of the time for new players they end up winning.
No, a little bit. I believe in beginner's luck in the sense that they don't necessarily have a preset idea of how to win, and so they kind of just throw things in there, and sometimes it works out because it just happens to be a strategy that works. Or I guess they do get lucky, but I wouldn't call it beginner's luck.
But you say that you have a straightforward strategy and you tend to not win. Would it be better just to be throwing things around?
I don't know.
It's honestly like one of the best strategic board games I've ever played. Like, it's very versatile, like easy to learn. It's like just a very well-rounded game. It's fun. It's, I don't know, medium length. Good game.
Specific question for you. I seem to recall that you included it in your college essay.
Yes.
Do you want to expand on that?
Well, not just this game, but my whole family is a very big board game family. So literally in our basement we have this shelf that's just like filled with board games. And so for my college essay, I literally talked about how board games have like basically shaped me. So like I'm a very like organized, strategic person because of like maybe not because of board games, but board games definitely factored into it. And so like it's basically a very large portion of my life. Basically every single Thanksgiving my whole family still comes together and we play board games. We have board game nights as like our like Friday night fun time. And so yeah, it's just a very big part of my life, and so that's why I wrote my college essay about it. Yes, I would definitely recommend this board game to...
It's a really fun game. It's played around the world. It's really popular in Germany, I'm pretty sure. So like, if you haven't heard of it before, I definitely think everyone should give it a shot, at least once. I would highly recommend this.
Okay.
Other people, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Okay, cool. We're done?
Thanks.
Why do I still play Catan? I'm kidding.
I think we're done. I think that's it.
Oh, sweet.
Unless you have anything else you want to say.
No.
Do you want to plug anything while I'm here?
Check out my stream now.
Okay, cool.
Are you